I don't do science-based training. I'm not gonna say that anymore because I don't want to be associated with that whole crowd.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna say logic-based. Everything we do is based on logic, right? You filming? All right, heavy duty crew. We are here at P5 to train legs. It's been a while since you've seen me train legs, as I, almost tore my IT band off or possibly partially ripped my vastus lateralis, doing a heavy squat pattern movement on a shitty V squat machine. I carry a V squat, apparently it's trash. Everybody gets injured on that thing. But I had to try something new, had to try to be novel. Anyway, so my leg is recuperated over the last month. I'm able to train it again. Feels pretty darn good. I really like the workout that I came up with that was kind of low stress on the area. So we're just gonna keep running this one for a while. I really enjoy it. It's gonna start off with the single leg press. Then we're gonna move on to adduction. Then it will be a single leg press. Did I say that twice? And then some hamstrings and glutes after that. So I don't feel comfortable talking, so I'm just gonna start training. It's imperative to be really warmed up. And what I've found that's been working really good is alternating the exercises I'm warming up with. So do a set here, adduction, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth as I approach my top set weight. My legs feel nice and full, comfortable, and just ready to go hard. So I used to hate this machine. Yeah, you can come closer, baby. I want to show them something. So some leg curls don't feel so good. This one in particular, I never really liked. The tension, the profile on this one isn't so ideal. You don't get a lot in the stretch position because really I would need to be like way up here with a pad here to get that extra extension. But what makes the biggest difference on whether it's hurting your knees or not is to keep your knee in line with this pivot point. So all leg extensions are gonna get it done. If you're training a failure, you're gonna get enough mechanical tension on them. But to keep that profile nice and joint friendly, keep your knee in line with that pivot point. I'm gonna take a break for the next one. Number 2, adduction. It's always going to be a staple in any leg program that I have set up. The wideness and the thickness of the legs is primarily the inside, it's the adductors. You see a physique with great quads and no adductors, it looks like a chicken leg. No matter how detailed or separated the front is, if it's not thick and wide, it looks like crap. I really like putting these in the beginning of a workout. There's just something about it. You're not exhausted. And for this isolation movement, you can really feel what you're working. Now, your feelings really don't matter. It's not imperative to growth that you can feel what you're training. But despite that truth, bodybuilding is not something clinical where you can just check things off a list and expect to build a great physique. No, you have to be passionate about this. You have to put your mind into it. You have to be willing to persevere and suffer and, you know, overcome your previous every fucking time you step in here. That being said, this is an endeavor of mastery, and knowing your body, knowing yourself, it's very important. I want to feel what I am working. And, you know, if that's a placebo effect that makes it more effective, I don't care. Placebo matters. Placebos work. Look at the trials. You can give people sugar pills and it'll make things happen to them. So anyhow, I like moving into this fresh. Feels phenomenal, especially because I'm going to be going on to something that's going to be extra difficult and a little bit more dangerous, being the single leg press. So with this Life Fitness crap, I couldn't put a gym pin in it because it's got these plastic shields in front of it. It's not heavy enough with the entire weight stack. You know, I'd probably do 50 to 60 reps. So what I'm going to do, and it's a little tricky to get yourself set up in this, but I'm going to do it single leg at a time. And I got to give you guys a walkthrough of how you can do that. So I'll keep a leg in the center. Now this pad is going to encroach on me because these are in unison. They're not single. They're not separated. They're not isolated in their function. So I'm going to take this foot. I'm going to drive it into this brace in the center. I'm going to drive my butt and hip into this back seat. I'm going to grab and grab. My arms are out of the way. I'm going to have to grab here actually. So, but it's really important that you're driving your hips back into the seat. You want to create something that's stable. If you're not perfectly stable, you're not going to be able to generate enough force to be able to pull, because you need something to be anchored against physics or whatever. That made it worse. Wow. I'll get her to fire it up for the second leg and take a break. Getting up during my break, man, that leg just feels so engorged. That adductor is just hanging off the bone. Ooh. So I was yapping a little bit before I did my set. I wasn't articulating myself well. So I want to go back to that point, or rather that thought. I'm becoming disillusioned with the science-based gym community. A lot of these content creators I'm seeing, man, it's missing the spirit of what I'm trying to convey to you guys. I want to be scientific, right? I want to know that what we're doing here works, and I do, because frankly, guys, if you've been here long enough, we perform the science. We track our data. We test our hypothesis. You know, we perform the experiment. We get the results. We know that low volume, high intensity training absolutely works, and that the frequency can be lower than you ever imagined and you could still make incredible progress. My problem with this science-based community, and I should rephrase them, not call them science-based, but call them the study-based community, is that they're really missing the heart of the matter. Seeing guys, you know, making bullet points or making checklists that are going to ensure growth, you know, that everything is just a checklist. Oh, well, hit X number of sets, train the muscle group 3 to 4 times a week. Sleep isn't important. And I'm not exaggerating on that. I read a whole post today by Paul Carter on his threads that is basically saying sleep has nothing to do with muscle growth. So, you know, hey, if you want to stay up late all night and play video games and get 3 or 4 hours of sleep, you can still expect to grow just fine, which is absolutely absurd. No professional athlete in any endeavor would tell you that, you know, sleep wasn't a contributing factor. And it just kind of goes into that's the whole mentality of these people, is that everything is just a checklist you can check off. When in reality, it's hard. It's difficult. It's not easy. If you're going into the gym and you're coming in to train with this mentality of, oh, I'm just going to check off the boxes, you're not going to be training hard enough. You know, they act like perception of effort is one speed that everybody can just maintain or rather access 100% of their effort, which is total bullshit. You know, I could take an experienced lifter and talk him through a set and get him more reps than he thought he had. You know, where would he have stopped if I wasn't there? What if I put smelling salts under his nose and let the snake bite his brain? Is he going to get more reps or less? So this whole idea of, oh, well, I can just leave that rep off at the end because it's going to be causing me too much fatigue. And if I just check off these boxes that I'm ensured this crazy progress, that's bullshit. That's a bunch of noise, man. You need to train hard. You need to be locked into what you're doing. You need to have some passion about it. It's simple, not easy. And it's definitely not checking off things off of a list. There we go. I need to get more range. Can I get more? Oh, that made it worse. And look, intensity is a skill set. How do you get better at football? You practice football. You play the game. That's what this training shit is too, guys. It's going through this same thing over and over again, generating higher and higher and higher levels of effort, training your mind that more is available to you. If you're constantly chopping off the end or saying, I don't have to go to the threshold, you're staying back eternally. You're not building that skill. We'll talk more later. Single leg press. Something about this I carry a pre-core machine. It is fucking heavy. I was doing 3 plates plus on each side in Crowley, but this one here, man, it's humbling. So I got 90 pounds on the side plus the sled, but you know, the pre-exhaustion of training quads and adductors first, this is hard. What I really love about this single leg press is how deep and how high up I feel it in my hips. You know, that is adding to the base of those legs, or at least I think it is. You know, I've had this thought, and this is the last thought I'm gonna have. I don't do science-based training. I'm not gonna say that anymore because I don't wanna be associated with that whole crowd. So I'm gonna say logic-based. Everything we do is based on logic, right? This is gonna be hard. That's fucking awesome. Should have went heavier. I'm scared to do another one. Let the perception go down. Ooh. So, which was better? Me getting that last grinder or me leaving it off? Come on, really no? So, this single leg press, guys, if you haven't tried it with this order of operations, doing quads, then adductors, and then coming here, it's just incredible. I mean, my legs feel awesome. I feel stimulus in all the places I love to. So here, above the adductors and that, oh damn, now I can't think of what it's called, but here, outer sweep of my teardrops, alongside of my leg, and mostly just up here in my hips. It's phenomenal. Whereas, you know, it's not about sensations once again, but loading up a really heavy leg press where I got this thing maxed out, it's so much CNS fatigue you can't feel any pleasant stimulus, and you're just running yourself into the mud. But with this pre-exhaustion, I'm really incorporating everything else that was left on the front of my legs to drive, and warming up my glutes, and isolaterally warming up my, not isometrically warming up my hamstrings for curls to come up. So this is pretty freaking sweet. This is gonna suck. Great success. So we're getting to hamstrings now. This is a standing hamstring curl. As I've shown you guys before, you can lean over on this thing and you can generate more force to pull heavier weights, but kind of the same way when you're doing a lying hamstring curl, it's like hiking your hips up to get more, to use your glutes to start the movement. So we're not gonna be doing that. I'm gonna force myself to stand straight up in it. This is really, really difficult. But I have the added sensation of having my adductors completely primed and worked, and my hamstrings were warmed up isometrically from doing the leg press. So it feels so strong. The stimulus is so strong coming to this hamstring curl. And I'm stalling because this shit is humbling AF. One thing too is it's hard to do, but you want to keep that foot pointed straight forward. Turning it out, it's not the same. Keeping that foot straight lets you pull with that bicep femoris and build that boat keel. There we go, right there. See, when I was getting weak and getting fatigued, that foot was wanting to turn out. Just keep it straight. All veiny and looking good. I do feel like they are improving the emphasis of the execution, especially training things like adductors, keeping in mind that my presses are primarily adductor driven. It's Feels like it's really working, and I can see it. I feel like my legs are thicker. Oh. Whew. All right, last movement of the day. I would do a 45-degree back extension, but they don't have any barbells upstairs, and I don't feel like hanging them with dumbbells. So, yeah, we're gonna do a glute kickback. Pretty simple on a machine. Get forward, drive through your heels, push more with your glutes than your quads. Feel your glutes working more than your quads. Logically, that would mean your glutes are working harder than your quads, so you'd be training your glutes. So simple as. Camera malfunction, we didn't get the first set, but this is it. Oh. I'll do a set of calves. I'm not gonna bother recording it. Calves pretty simple, guys. Well, see you next time.